If it's love, I want everything. Touch my soul, touch my heart, don't judge my mental. They told me that life is simple, been real since Papa Pimple. I started out in the rental, Sonata, the presidential. Speak once and listen twice, they told me that less is simple.
What's good, family? What's good? I'm making this video because I think it's imperative we have a quick talk and be transparent as possible. I read the comments, you know. I'm not one to think that the comments don't matter. I've had to block certain people who really don't want to engage in, you know, a proper dialect or proper dialogue. You know, they want to point out disagreements, maybe because they like somebody that I don't agree with. So instead of, you know, building on why we don't agree and challenging me to give you a proper understanding, it's more like juvenile tactics, you know, typical deflection measures to resort to just like, you know, childish engagement. I'm not with none of that. Real quick, in my channel, there's things that I talk about that pertains to Tariq Nasheed. And I've explained this before, but I think I gotta be even more clear. This is me coming at a brother who I've watched for over 15 years. And I stand on the fact that I do not think this brother loves his people. And you guys mistake certain tactics for love, when any intellectual person or person that just loves their black brothers and sisters will understand what divisive engagements are, divisive rhetoric is. And if you say you are for your people, you wouldn't trail away from the notion of checking whoever you have to in this diaspora. But I digress, man. Like, I'm transparent as possible. If you really subscribe to me because you rock with me, that means you took the time to watch all of my videos. I don't want to know that you're just a fan of me because you think I'm like going to war with Tariq Nasheed. I mean, 95% of my videos have nothing to do with Tariq Nasheed nor his divisive FBA movement. And a lot of you conflate FBA for Black Americans. Let's get this clear and get this clear today. The majority of Black Americans don't rock with that group, FBA. You know, let's hold our horses in trying to make FBA be the representatives for the entire group of Black Americans here in the Western Hemisphere. That is not the case, people. And I think a lot of folks who sees anyone that dares questions the role and movement of FBA, you deem them to be a tether, immigrant. I'm born right here in America, folks. I rock with my black brothers and sisters right here in America, yo. And just to throw this out here, while I'm all for the diaspora, because I'm a father who has children right here in America, my first concern is right here, my home. And I challenge a lot of people over and over with your disagreements, with the points that you try to throw or rather stuff down people's throats. What do you do outside of YouTube? I see some of y'all passion, I see the anger, I see everything. But again, I challenge you. What do you do outside of YouTube? Now, if you want to discredit me as someone who just comes to YouTube and attack, let's have a dialogue. Or better yet, scroll through my channel and you'll have an understanding of what I do every day. See, I don't just talk this. It affects me understanding the youths are the gems and they get, you know, the worst shitty end of the deal out of all of this. And I cuss and I know most of my videos, folks, are not monetized. You know, I speak a certain way, I speak on certain things, they are not monetized. I never had the intention of coming on YouTube to make money. Now, if I can use assets and resources to make changes on matters that I want to push, on agendas that I have and that I want to spearhead, fine, but I understand this game, you know, and it's not for everyone. You know, if you're coming in this space just to make money, it's not gonna be a pretty end game for you, you know. But again, I'm trying to be transparent as possible. I am a black man living in America. When I have a disagreement, you can use the term tether, whatever it is that you use that all of a sudden has become a speaking point for a lot of us. But let's get this straight. Tariq Nasheed and his FBA movement is not the focal point of my channel. If you really take the time to scroll through it, you will understand that. But if you need to use that to discredit me, so be it. I won't engage in juvenile tactics, folks. If we're not gonna have a dialogue, and I'm not gonna speak about my black women right now. I'm not in the business of going back and forth with black women to the point where it's a detriment. If we don't agree, we don't agree. I do believe we all have our roles, and the role of a black man is not to beat a black woman's head in until she agrees with him. No, this message is for my black brothers. You guys gotta behave accordingly, man. You know, a lot of you are accustomed to going on YouTube videos and you don't show your face, your profile is hidden, so you're emboldened to throw out, you know, juvenile gestures, name calling, all that. It doesn't affect me, folks. It's easy where I could just remove you or block you, but a lot of times I leave your messages so people can understand what we're dealing with. Our people are stubborn people, man. We cheerlead for the man and not the message. So, had some of you try to better explain the positions of the message of FBA, I could really engage in a dialogue, but I'm not in the business of cheerleading men. You know, we all breathe and bleed like one another. I'm not in that business. I'm in the business, if you don't know, to advocate for the youth, to advocate for the homelessness, because a lot of our homelessness are the youth, believe it or not. And they think that this is the end all. They don't have resources. Sometimes they need people to point out a direction of where they're going. And I've said this about months ago in a certain video I made. You know, we talk about the black community pulling together, but, you know, specifically in my homelessness advocacy, imagine being homeless and you're just trying to get something to eat or have a shelter over your head, and someone is pushing out an agenda of the bigger narrative of community. To a lot of our young folks who are out here in the street for whatever reason, they can't see that far past themselves. And selfishly, I understand why they're that way. So we got a lot of issues that we gotta, you know, combat at the root of it. But I thought I'd make this video just to be even more transparent. I thought that's what I was doing. But hey, you know, I'm one that can always say, maybe I wasn't doing my best, but I'm trying to be more transparent. Even as I'm talking to you guys right now, I'm conducting a whole business meeting about something that I'm pushing. I can reveal more and more as this blossoms. You know, I don't like making empty promises, but it's something I'm working on, and it takes a lot of energy, folks. Again, I'm a father of 6. Sometimes it takes away from not giving my own children attention for the broader message and for the greater good. And I thank God that my children are humble to understand, you know, my works out here. You know, they may feel a certain effect towards me taking energy away from them, but I really want to engage in a space where I know that I can come on here, and everything that I say, I know the works that I'm doing out here. So that empowers me to speak a certain way. So again, I challenge a lot of you brothers that just wants to come in this space or any other space and spew certain rhetoric. Just spew. Taking things out of context, making them so literal to the point you miss the message. So, you know, this is gravitating away. Again, trying to be transparent as possible. And again, I challenge my black brothers, before you speak ill on anyone, before you feel emboldened to be negative, show your work. You know, in math class, it was about show and tell. A lot of you brothers need to understand what that means, man. You speak very big and bad with no works. Show me the kids' lives you have changed. Show me the black brothers and sisters that you are engaging with for a better place. I'm not talking about the entire diaspora, by the way. I'm talking about right here in black America, where I feel like I've given my all, and there's more to give. Right here in America, what have you done in your backyards, whether you in Florida, New York, Alabama, Milwaukee, California. What have you done in your backyard? Because while I do respect the entire diaspora, I do understand that it's kind of hard to talk about such a broad view of things if you're not doing nothing even in the communities that you know what goes on back there. You know the detriments our people have. What are you actually doing? Other than cheerleading other men that breathe and bleed like you, what are you doing? Because if we understand the power that we each have as individuals, even if it's the basic of tasks that it takes to sacrifice and deprive your selfish nature to say, I want to do for another, show that. Show that. We all have this voice. But I'm not going to keep explaining myself because my works do that. Now, can you say the same? This was Gravitating Away. I rock with y'all, family. I want to keep my numbers growing. I want to keep the algorithm catching on, folks. So it's not just about engaging in these videos. I really want you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. You know, hit that notification bell. All I try to do is drop gems that are backed up with actual groundwork. We use the term grassroots too loosely. Some of us have never left grassroots, and we don't want any recognition, by the way. That's all I have for now, man. I love y'all.